If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Before winter started, a lot of people asked me to make this video, and so I'm going to make this video. It's the beginning part of February 2019, and first time in months that I wore just a t-shirt. Normally I had a long sleeve sweatshirt on with a t-shirt underneath. Usually I was wearing my camo jacket. But here we are in northern Florida. Beautiful day, 70 degrees. Last year we were here, the winter, it did not get out of the 40s. So anybody who's followed my channel for any length of time, like Harry or John, you guys are gonna know that cold weather follows us around. Well, apparently we finally outran it, because we're gonna have, according to the 10-day forecast, we're gonna have 70-degree temperatures, high 60s, low 70s for the next 10 days. A little bit of chance of rain towards the end of those 10 days, but in Missouri right now it's 29 degrees. That's where we came from. As everybody knows, we were in Missouri. The last day we were there, it got down to 2 degrees. The week before we left, it was 20 inches of snow that we had to shovel out. It was actually the deepest snow. For that snowfall, it was the deepest snow in Missouri. Just our luck. Cold weather has been our nemesis the entire time of our adventure, and I've went through this a lot. So this is a nice respite to our journey. This is just wonderful. There was a lot of people who didn't think we would survive the winter. And this was back in November, October, November. Got lots of comments. Didn't think we would do it. Not without, really modifying our systems. And I kept saying we could do it. They kept saying they couldn't. We couldn't. And I would imagine that a lot of those folks don't watch my videos anymore. But I'm going to keep my promise and explain what we did to survive the winter. A lot of you disagreed on how we heated our camper. A lot of you disagreed on how we insulated our camper. I mean, there was just all kinds of agreements and disagreements. You got to remember, we started out this adventure in a pop-up camper. And we survived cold weather in that also. But a lot of people seem to think that this camper was not going to do as well as the pop-up. And so we did pretty good in that. Now, granted, we were hooked up to electric, but here, even though I stayed some time at Mom's house, if we'd have ran an electric heater in this camper, we'd have overloaded Mom's power source and blew breakers all the time, or possibly even caught a fire. So I didn't run an electric heater. So it was just propane. Now, that's the other thing. Now, see, a lot of people seem to think I needed to spend a lot of money to make this work. So I'm going to go through the things that we had to buy. We bought a blanket, one blanket. It was very heavy, well, more like a comforter. Got it at Goodwill for $3. The $10 for the heater that didn't work, and the $3 for the comforter. So we spent about $13. Now, a lot of people wanted me to buy a diesel heater. So now, if I had bought a diesel heater, we would be in 70-degree temperatures with a $150 device that would be taking up a wall space where we hang our pots and pans, because that's the only place I can think to hang it, and not need it right now. So for the rest of the season, I would imagine that it's not going to be needed that we have this diesel heater. There was other people who suggested that I needed a $1,000 heater, some sort of ceramic propane heater. They talked about alcohol heaters. Everybody wanted me to have a heater better than what I had, and what I had I thought was the perfect heater. Turns out, it did great. We used our propane stove, cooking stove. It had an adjustable flame to keep us warm. So I could adjust the temperature, so when it got down to 2 degrees, I just turned up the flame. The other thing it has is it has a second burner. So if it got too cold, which we never had to do, I could have turned on the second burner. So I could have had the first burner on high, the second burner, just, I could have, and I had an unlimited amount of heat source. It was just incredible. The amount of propane I used probably came up to about $80 for the entire winter. So from October to January, you know, October is when it started cooling off, we only used about $80 in propane for the entire season. Most people use $100 a month. So, I mean, we did fantastic there. I did forget something. I bought a $10 carbon monoxide detector. I had one, but I went ahead and added another one because the first night that we turned on the propane Coleman stove, the carbon monoxide detector went off. Now, the reason it went off was, and this was a learning curve, that's all it was. This could have happened with a propane heater also. A Mr. Heater Reporter Buddy would have done the same exact thing. You cannot have propane exhausting into an enclosed space. What happened was, is in the middle of the night, our window shut on us. We learned that we need to put something underneath in between the gap so it wouldn't shut on us. So we learned that the first night, didn't go off again. Okay, so now I guess we're up to 23 bucks is what I invested into surviving the winter in our camper. Water, we did really well with water. That was my big concern, was trying to keep water from freezing. And I was able to find enough places, and my mom's, I mean, once I went to my mom's, water became a little bit easier to deal with. I was able to keep 1 bucket of water inside the camper, and it was thawed out at all times. So, for all those who thought I was going to perish in the middle of Missouri in cold weather, we made it down to 2 degrees. I am healthy. I survived it. I mean, I really didn't get cold. I really bonded with my camper. I know that sounds silly, but I bonded with my homemade camper. I built my camper, and it protected me. And I was so proud of it. And so here I am, in my t-shirt, enjoying 70-degree weather. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.